Hey there! Welcome back to Duolingo English Test Practice. Today we're diving into one of the most important tasks you'll face on the test, the Write About the Photo section. Let's start with the basics. The Write About the Photo task appears 3 times consecutively during your test session. For each question, you'll have exactly 1 minute to respond. When the timer starts, you'll see both an image and the instruction to write a description of the image below for 1 minute. What makes this task particularly challenging is that you need to quickly analyze what you're seeing and craft a detailed, grammatically correct description that really showcases your English proficiency. You need to think fast but write thoughtfully. Now, let's talk about the specific requirements. The task asks you to write a description based on the image displayed on your screen. The prompt will appear at the same time as the timer starts, so you need to be ready to jump right in. While the instruction mentions using your imagination to narrate what might be happening in the image, it's important to note that your description must accurately reflect what's actually in the photo. Due to the 1-minute time constraint, I recommend focusing primarily on describing what you can clearly see rather than creating elaborate fictional scenarios. Your imagination should enhance your description of real elements, not replace them. While the instructions technically only specify writing at least 1 complete sentence, I strongly recommend writing more than that. Make it as long as possible. Let's talk about scoring. The Duolingo English test uses AI to evaluate your response based on 5 key criteria: relevance, coherence, grammar, vocabulary, and length. Relevance means your description actually matches what's in the image. Coherence refers to how well your ideas flow together. Grammar and vocabulary assess your technical language skills, and length considers whether you've written enough to fully demonstrate your abilities. Now, I want to share some specific answering strategies that will help you excel at this task. Strategy number 1. Identify the focus and theme of the image. This means you need to quickly determine who or what is the main subject of the photo. Ask yourself, who is involved? What are they doing? Don't stop at just the obvious elements. Look for background details or contextual clues that can enrich your description. These details will add depth to your writing and show that you're observant and detailed in your language use. Strategy number 2. Pay attention to vocabulary and grammar complexity and accuracy. This is crucial. Use diverse and descriptive vocabulary to enhance your response. Don't just say good when you could say exceptional or outstanding. Aim for grammatically correct sentences with a mix of simple and complex structures. Variety in your sentence patterns demonstrates sophisticated language control. Strategy number 3. Practice common themes. The test tends to use certain types of images repeatedly, such as people engaging in activities, animals in their habitats, landscapes, or interesting objects. Familiarize yourself with these common image types and practice describing them. Build up a repertoire of vocabulary and phrases related to each category. For example, for people, practice describing emotions, actions, and relationships. For landscapes, practice describing weather, terrain, and atmosphere. Strategy number 4. Elevate vocabulary and sentence structures. This is where you can really distinguish yourself. Use richer vocabulary and more complex sentence patterns to demonstrate your proficiency. Don't just use basic terms and simple sentences. Incorporate relative clauses, adverbial phrases, and advanced grammar structures where appropriate. This shows the AI scoring system that you have command of sophisticated English constructions. Let me show you some sample answers to illustrate these strategies in action. For photo 1, which shows a hiker on a mountain, here's an example of an excellent answer. Carrying a backpack, the solitary hiker is traversing a mountain blanketed with lush green vegetation and knee-high weeds, which poses a challenge for him as he plans to set up camp using his own tent. Now, let's break down the advanced techniques demonstrated in this response. Technique 1. Starting with an adverbial clause. Carrying a backpack. This immediately shows sophisticated sentence structure by beginning with a participial phrase. Technique 2. Using an advanced sentence structure with a non-restrictive relative clause introduced by which. This shows you can construct complex sentences that flow naturally. Technique 3. Expressing inferred reasoning with for plus clause. For he plans to camp here. This demonstrates your ability to make logical inferences and express them grammatically. Let's look at another example to see how we can enrich vocabulary and sentence complexity. For photo 2, which shows people in conversation, a basic description might be, people are talking and smiling. But that's very simplistic and doesn't showcase advanced language skills. An upgraded description would be, the group is engaged in an animated discussion, their jubilant expressions and enthusiastic gestures reflecting the excitement of their exchange. See how much richer and more detailed this is? It uses precise vocabulary like animated, jubilant, and enthusiastic instead of basic terms like talking and smiling. Remember, you only have 1 minute for this task, so practice is essential. Time yourself describing various images to build speed and confidence. Focus on developing a strategy that allows you to quickly identify key elements and craft a sophisticated response. That's it for our express tutorial on the write about the photo task. Practice these techniques, and you'll be well prepared to excel in this section of the Duolingo English test. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful test preparation tips, and we'll see you in the next video.